So welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris in Animal Kingdom. So over the next 20 to 25 minutes we're going to take a ride around the savannah and see what animals we're going to see. Come along, let's take a look.
Oh yeah, there's that rhino. Now this here is a black rhino. Now I do know that from the shape of its mouth. Because black rhinos, they have a triangular shaped mouth, which they love to use to grab things such as plants. Because you see, all rhinos, they are herbivores, meaning that they only eat plants. As you can see, it's enjoying some nice breakfast there. Now the black rhino itself is going to be a very solitary animal. You see black rhinos, they really just prefer to hang out by themselves. Now coming up here off to the right hand side, you're going to see two more types of animals. The ones that are tannish in color, that is the greater kudu. And the ones that are orange with white stripes, you see, those are the bongos. Now I like the bongos personally because they get the nickname as the ghost of the forest. And that's because they are rarely seen. But now, the greater kudu, well, that's tan in color. All the kudu you see here on the reserve, they are all female. And I say that because they don't have any antlers. Only male kudu actually have antlers. But enough about them. It looks like we are going to travel on out of the little attorney course and head into our next safari adventure. Next on our safari today, we are going to journey into the Safi River. Down here in Safi, our job is to look out for animals that love to hide underneath the water. Because you see, here in Safi, these animals are going to thrive by being in or near the river ecosystem, and they really just use the river as a life source. So now let's see what we can find over here as we journey into the Safi River. Okay, now I see a lot of birds. The birds with the gray and white feathers, those are pink-backed pelicans, and they have a wingspan of 9 feet. It's actually the same width as the canopy above your head. Looks like I see another animal laying up, so I see some hippos right there off to the left. Now that indeed is the hippopotamus. Now hippos, you see, they do prefer to spend most of their time in the water because the water really helps the animal regulate its body temperature. In fact, hippos, they get the nickname as the river horse, and that's because while they can swim, you see, hippos, they prefer to walk or run along the river floor. Now, one thing that the hippo and the rhino have in common is that they are both herbivores, meaning that, again, they only eat plants. In fact, hippos, they eat on average around 100 pounds of food every single day. They eat a lot. See some more hippos. But actually, I think I see I do see another animal. I see a crocodile here in these waters. Now these here are the Nile crocodiles. Now these crocodiles, you see, they can get to as long as 16 feet, which, to give you some kind of visual, is actually going to be about the same length as a giraffe stone. And you see, Nile crocodiles are the largest living reptile here in Africa. Now looks like it is time to head on out of the Safi River and head towards my personal favorite area of the reserve. It's going to be the area that we actually do spend the most time in here on the safari. We are headed to none other than the savanna. Now the savanna itself is the largest and most iconic ecosystem that is here in Africa. And it is home to animals such as giraffes, zebras, elephants, lions, cheetahs, all the fun animals. So now let's see what kind of animals we can find out here today on this savanna. I will say that some of the animals we might see as soon as we enter, they might be far away. But now that's A-okay. Because we do have a lot of ground to cover here on our safari. And our journey has only just begun. We just gotta follow along the right path here. Because you see, even I do have to drive on the road. Oh yeah, see a giraffe, and I see wildebeest right there off to the right. Now, all giraffes you see here are Maasai giraffes. But now wildebeest, that there is a confusion, because a group of wildebeest is known as a confusion. Oh, but we're going to get some nice views of the zebras here. Now, all the zebras here in the reserve, they are all Hartman mountain zebras. And just like how humans, we have our own individual fingerprint, each zebra has its own individual stripe pattern. Now this here is a dazzle, because a group of zebras is actually known as a dazzle. Now one way that the zebra will actually help protect itself from predators is by getting in a group, getting in a dazzle, because its stripes do tend to confuse predators whenever they are all together. Looks like they're just grazing really close to the right path here. Now zebras, all the zebras here on the reserve, they are going to be black with white stripes. Now we know that because of their nose. As you see, their nose is black, so that means their skin is black. So they're black with white stripes. You are really close to the right path. Yeah. Yeah, they're having a great time. Thanks for a really good time. Alright, now I have to go a little bit faster. Now this animal off to the left-hand side, that is an Ankoli cattle. Now I know that those horns may look heavy, but they're actually really light inside. You see they have a honeycomb shape inside, so they're very, very light. And we're going to get some nice views of the giraffes. Now here on the reserve, all the giraffes that we see, they're all Maasai giraffes. Now we know that from the shape of their spots. You see, if you look closely at their spots, you're going to see that it's pretty rough along the edges and pretty bumpy. So that's how this type of giraffe is identified. Now this here is a tower, because a group of giraffes is actually known as a tower. Now I think a tower for a group of giraffes is pretty fitting, considering that they are the tallest animals in the world, reaching heights between 16 to 20 feet tall. Looks like the zebras did get in the road. Oh yeah, the trucks are stopped for the zebras there. That's okay, that's not our problem. We're in front of them. Oh, looks like I do see a tiny giraffe up ahead. Yeah, there he is. Now baby giraffes, when they are born, they're going to be about 6 feet tall at birth. Yeah. Now I know that giraffes, they do have really long necks, but giraffes, they actually have the same amount of bones in their necks as we do in our necks. It's 7, but the bones in their necks are just a lot longer than the ones that we have in ours. Yeah, there he is. He's hanging out. He's having a great time. You know you want the food. You know you want the food. Now the horns of the giraffe, those are called ossicones, and you see all giraffes have them. That's going to be a nice key characteristic for this animal. Now if there's one thing that the giraffe likes to do, it is eat. Because you see giraffes, they actually spend about 20 hours of their day eating, which does not leave a lot of room for sleeping, you see. So giraffes actually only sleep for about 30 minutes a day, and they sleep standing up. Because standing up is the safest position for that animal. But all right, now it looks like these trees have been walked on over a little bit. Now that is a key indicator. And there might be some elephants in the area, because you see elephants, they do love to walk all over the trees to make room for migration. So let's keep our eyes on the lookout. Oh, there's an elephant right there off to the right. There's the elephant. Out here on the reserve, all the elephants that we see, they are all African elephants. Because you know we are in Africa, after all. Now, elephants. Actually, I think we see a mandrill. Yep, there's a monkey right there. That's a mandrill. Right off to the left. I know I saw one walking. Yeah, if you think you saw a monkey, that's a mandrill. If you did not see a monkey, think of a rafiki, because that is a real life rafiki. But anyway, elephants. Elephants are very cool animals. They actually have more muscles in their trunks than us humans do, in our entire body. Because elephants, you see, they actually have over 100,000 muscles in their trunk alone. It is very, very strong. Now, you might have noticed that the elephant was waving its ears back and forth. Now that is actually something that elephants do on purpose. Because by waving their ears back and forth, they can cool their bodies down by about 15 degrees just from waving their ears back and forth. Now that particular elephant is probably a male. And I do say that because the elephant was by itself. Because you see male elephants, whenever they do get to a certain level of maturity, they will actually leave the herd that they were born to either go off by themselves or to form bachelor herds. But alright. Now, right now we are traveling through the red clay pits. As we are driving on through, you will notice that there are some tusk marks in the red clay. That's because elephants, you see, they love to dig into the red clay to get vitamins and minerals out of it. It's just like how humans, we need our nutrients, so do the elephants. Now, a group of elephants itself is known as a memory, and I like things because they have pretty good memory. In fact, elephants, they have an ability called self-awareness. Meaning they can actually recognize themselves. Enemies. Well, I knew we were going to get stopped at some point. I just didn't know where. Because we've had a lot of rhino activity this morning. Now, if there's one thing about the safari, though, is that this whole ride is one big circle. So if one truck does get stopped for long enough, eventually every single truck behind it will as well. We've had a pretty long rhino stop, so I'm not surprised that we're stopped. Because these are real animals that we are dealing with here. Sometimes they really get in the road. Typically the animal that gets in the road is a giraffe. Let me tell you, giraffe stops they happen every single day. Every single day. So it looks like we are back on the move. Now, if you ever wonder what these big trees are you see around the savannah, these are going to be called baobab trees. And these trees, they actually get the nickname as the tree of life. And that's because when water does get scarce out here in the savannah, animals will poke holes in to get water on out of it. In fact, that tree can actually hold up to as much as 50,000 gallons of water in its trunk alone. They also get the nickname as the upside down tree, because it looks like the roots are just right on out of the ground. Well, actually, it does look like we're going to have to take a nice little trip through the water here before we do say hi to our next animal. It's going to be a flamingo. Yeah, well, I can hear the flamingos for sure. Flamingos are very vocal animals. Yeah. Now out here in the reserve, all the flamingos that we see, they are all greater flamingos. And we're going to get a nice view of a flamboyant, because a group of flamingos is actually known as a flamboyant. Yeah, there they are. Now, flamingos themselves, though, they are not going to be naturally born pink, you see. Flamingos, when they are born, they're born more of a white-gray color. It's not until the flamingo eats shrimp and gets something called beta-carotene that it will turn this nice and iconic pink color. Now, flamingos themselves, they are very social animals. It's pretty rare to see a flamingo by itself. Very vocal. Very vocal. They're definitely awake. Now, oh, wow, yeah, they do not like something's going on. They're like, why is somebody in my habitat? Alright, now we are going to be transitioning from West Savannah to East Savannah. These over the rhinos. Let's see. Yeah, we are going to be passing by the mud pits, and the rhinos, you see, they really love to roll in the mud, kind of like a pig does. It's going to help cool themselves off whenever they get a little too hot. Oh, yep, I do see some rhinos. I know they're a little bit far away, but we're going to be making our way over there. We got to say hi to some big cats first. Because we are going to be entering into some big cat territory. Yeah, let's start keeping our eyes on the lookout. Because if we are going to see the animal such as the cheetah, this is where it will be. Oh, there. Oh. Right there. There's a cheetah. Now, cheetahs, you see, they are the fastest land mammals in the world, reaching speeds as fast as 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. Now, while these animals can go very fast, you see, they cannot go very fast for very long. Cheetahs can only go their top speed for about 200 to 300 yards, so they have to get a nice, long rest. Now, one thing that does make the cheetah different from most other big cats, though, is that they actually prefer to hunt during the daytime, unlike animals like lions, which love to hunt during the nighttime. Now we are slowly moving to hopefully see the lions. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, if we are going to see the lions, this is the spot it will be at. Now, lions, they love to be on rocks that are really high, really perched up like this, because it's really going to give them a nice viewpoint of the savannah. We're going to want to look out for any predators or prey in the area. And we're going to do a nice little U-turn around this rock, so if we don't see them right now, I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, because they're usually pretty active in the mornings, because you see lions themselves, they are nocturnal animals. They much prefer to sleep during the day and hunt during the nighttime. Yeah, there he is. He's looking at the rhinos. There they are. And there are those white rhinos. But I'm going to talk about the lions first because I really like them. They're really cool. Now, a group of lions is known as a pride. Now, the lioness, you see, she does all of the hunting for the pride. Males, instead, I like to think of them as bodyguards. Oh, big yawn. That's right, I don't want to mess with you at all. But their job is to protect any cubs while the females, they go off and hunt. Now, lions, again, they are nocturnal animals, meaning that they do sleep during the day and hunt during the nighttime. In fact, lions, on average, they sleep between 16 to 20 hours every single day. Yeah, that's why I like the mornings. They're a little bit more active. Now, sometimes they will roar every now and then. Now, a lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles away. So when they do roar, you actually hear it throughout the entire reserve. But now rhinos, oh, looks like they're walking away from us. But now these are the white rhinos, and unlike the black rhino that we saw earlier, they have a wide-shaped mouth. Now that is actually a crash, because the group of rhinos is known as a crash. Yeah. Looks like they're walking towards the food, or the mud pits. Now, oh, look, I know I didn't see an ostrich, but it does look like the ostrich did indeed decide to lay a couple eggs here off to the right-hand side, as we are passing by some ostrich eggs. Now look, now ostrich eggs themselves, they are pretty cool. They typically weigh about 3 pounds a piece, which is the same as about 24 chicken eggs you would buy at the grocery store. In fact, ostrich eggs, they are so big and so durable that an adult human male can't stand on it and not break it. But now looks like I do looks like I see some goats hanging out around here. Oh yeah, there they are. Now these here are the Nigerian dwarf goats. Now these dwarf goats, they are actually one of the only domesticated animals here in the reserve. And I know that they are short, but they're fully grown adult goats. They are just dwarf goats. They're going to be a little bit shorter. Now if you do want to say hi to those Nigerian dwarf goats, get up close and personal with them, you can. All you have to do is take a nice short little train ride to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Because up at Rafiki's, they do have a petting zoo area called the affection section, where you can say hi to those goats and other farm animals such as sheep. Cast 5 minute class occurs about every 45 minutes in a vet hospital with a view window. But alrighty, everybody, note the sound of those chains, though it does mean that our time on the reserve has slowly but surely come to an end. So we are making our way back to the unloading docks. But I certainly hope you learned something new, saw some cool animals, and really just got a better appreciation for all of the animals that you saw and their homes. Because after all, the animals are the reason why we do what we do here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, before I forget, for any of my wilderness explorer friends out there today, you have been riding on the Simba 1. That's going to be your code word. You can see them spray that. Simba, S-I-M-B-A. Yummy, number 1. You see it's number 1 after all. Now, if you are looking to say hi to some more live animals here today at Animal Kingdom, there are a lot of opportunities. The quickest way is by visiting Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, right out here in Africa. Now, up at Gorilla Falls, you'll get to see some gorillas, apes. That's where Timon likes to hang out, because that's where the meerkats will actually be. But now, maybe you want to see an animal such as a tiger. Well, we actually do not have any tigers here in Africa. Hakuna Matata, that means no worries, because there are tigers in Asia. It is called the Maharaja Jungle Trek over in Asia. Now, Gorilla Falls and the Maharaja Jungle Trek are both going to be about a 15-minute walking trip, and you can take as long or as little amount of time as you would like.